Wisdom, chapter 10. This is he who was formed first by God, the Father of the world, who was alone when created. She preserved him, and led him out of his offense, and gave him the power to maintain all things. After this, when the unjust man withdrew from her in his anger, he perished through anger by the murder of his brother. Because of this, when water destroyed the earth, wisdom healed it again, guiding the just by means of contemptible wood. Moreover, when the nations had conspired together to consent to wickedness, she knew the just, and preserved him without blame before God, and preserved his strength out of mercy for his sons. She freed this just man from the destruction of the impious, fleeing, descending fire in the 5 cities, which, as a testimony to their wickedness, is a constantly smoking, desolate land, and the trees bear fruit at uncertain times, and a figure of salt stands as a monument to an unbelieving soul. For, in disregarding wisdom, they are fallen, not so much in this, that they were ignorant of good, but that they bequeathed to men a memorial of their foolishness, so that, in the things in which they sinned, they were unable to escape notice. Yet wisdom has freed from sorrow those who are self-observant. She led the just man, this fugitive of his brother's wrath, by the right ways, and revealed to him the kingdom of God, and gave him the knowledge of holiness, honored him in his labors, and completed his labors. In the midst of encircling deceit, she flowed around him and made him honest. She guarded him from his enemies, and she defended him from seducers, and she gave him a strong conflict, so that he might overcome and might know that the power of all things is wisdom. She did not abandon the just man when he was sold, but freed him from sinners. She went down with him into the pit, and she did not abandon him in chains, while she brought him the scepter of the kingdom and power against those who oppressed him, and revealed them to be liars who had dishonored him, and gave him everlasting glory. She freed this just people and the blameless offspring from the nations that had oppressed them. She entered the soul of the servant of God, and stood against dreadful kings in the midst of portents and signs. And she rendered to the just the wages of their labors, and led them along a wondrous way. And she was to them like a cover by day, and like the light of the stars by night. She carried them through the Red Sea, and led them across a great water. But their enemies she submerged in the sea, and from the furthest depths she drew them up. Therefore the just carried off the spoils of the impious. And they chanted to your holy name, Lord. And they together praised your victorious hand, because wisdom opened the mouth of the mute, and made the speech of infants eloquent.